Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends, and we are here at Friday Night Lights. I mean, Purdue is playing St. Peter's in a really close game. Kansas and Providence is having a close game, but we are talking NFL because we have seen another week, guys, unlike anything we've seen, I think, in my lifetime. I mean, Devontae Adams traded, and all of a sudden this week, Willie and Swame, I get a text from Swame that says, Tyreek Hill to Miami. Mind blown. Swame, where do we even start?
Doc, I don't know, but I talked to Tyreek today. Not Tyreek Hill, Tyreek, my cousin. He thought it was crazy. Can't believe it. I don't even know what this guy's going to do in Miami. Here's the thing. Willie, I don't want to hear. Here's the thing, Doc. Tyreek Hill is leaving 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, right? 4,000 yards, 4,500, 35 touchdowns, something like that, to go down to 2,000 yards and about 10 touchdowns. It doesn't matter how you slice it. If you think that suddenly this offense is going to throw the ball more than they have, the 12 or 13 targets to Waddle out of the backfield, and suddenly they're going to be spreading it around. They go out and they re-sign Ahmad, they re-sign Smith, they franchise Gesicki, they bring in Chase Edmonds, they got Mostert, they got Bridgewater. This will be great if I still play Madden. If I still play Madden, if they wouldn't have went to that little joystick thing and stuck with the D-pad, I would love it. I would probably play the Dolphins most of the time. But this isn't a video game. This is NFL. This is DFS. I don't like it.
So, Willie, is it fair? Who do we blame here? Do we blame the Chiefs for not re-signing him? Do we blame Hill for wanting more money? Do we blame Miami for going after Hill, who's a top 3 player in his position? I mean, where's the blame here?
You got blame all around. It's just okay. Now let me say this: Hill, Waddle, Cedric Wilson, Rasheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, more speed than anybody can burn. Okay, but this is the but, and this is bigger than Bertha butt back in the days. This but is this: how will the speed mesh with Tua? Let me give you a couple of stats that you could hold on to. Number one, Tua, he had the 3rd lowest depth of target. Only behind who? Big ass milk Ben, who's on his last days, and Jared Goff.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
There's more. Now, yards going down 20 yards down the field. He had 7%. Second lowest. Guess who only was lower?
Let me guess, Big Ben.
Daniel Jones.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So that's the question.
No, but can you blame Tyreek for wanting the money?
No, listen.
Yes. All money ain't good money, Willie. Go ahead and say it. 120 million. Doc said last week these contracts not guaranteed.
Listen, and see, not only that, what kind of trouble is Tyreek Hill going to get in?
Big. He probably got in trouble right now.
There's a lot of cheats. There's a lot of cheats in Miami.
He loves scandal. Well, I swear, man, this guy.
There's a lot of cheats in Miami.
Notice the 2 cities were Miami and New York. Nothing good's happening in either city.
He is B6.
That bastard needed to be in Kansas City in the flat plains. Now he's gonna be just seeing cheeks everywhere.
So did Kansas City guys do the right thing by not paying the money? See, here's how I look at it. He's 28 years old. This is a speed-dependent player. How many more years is he the cheetah? That dude slows down 1 inch. He's a good receiver, but he's not top 3. So if I'm the Chiefs, do I want to pay him a guaranteed 72 mil when I can go out and get a couple of receivers in this draft, Swami?
You got to pay them. When somebody's producing like that, too often, I think you've seen before they changed and they were paying these rookies all this money, they were paying folks who weren't producing. He's been producing, right? And even when he's not getting the ball in his hands, he's taking the coverage. You have to pay somebody who is having this type of impact on your offense. And when you get it to him, he's dynamite. And he's dynamite right now. A lot of people have backed the truck up and have ran off with money. Ask the Commanders. But in this case, you got somebody who's still in his prime. He still looked like he's got a 6th, 7th, or 8th gear. I think you pay him. You got to. You got to.
So Willie, in your fantasy league, you taking Tyreek Hill in the first round anymore?
No. But let me say this about let me get on that question about Tyreek Hill. All right. This is what Kansas City is going to face. Hill accounted for 38% of the Chiefs' targets over 20 or more yards. No player had more targets, 118 receptions, over 50 yards targets, and then he had 50 receptions over 1,875 and 19 TDs. That's Hill. But let me say this. I will say this. We don't know what kind of trouble Hill was giving the Chiefs. We don't know that, because they kept things under wraps. So we don't know that. And also, the Chiefs have the 29th, 30th pick, and the 50th pick in the second round. So if they could get somebody to come, listen, you're not going to replace that, but you don't know the trouble that he might be causing. I think you should pay him, but they got 4 or 5 other guys that handicapped that they couldn't do it, and they probably tried to work it out. I think they both should have worked out, but Hill just wanted the money. When you want the money, what the Chiefs did is they did the best thing they could do, get draft picks. And if I know the Chiefs, the way I know they got a pretty good drafting system, I think they're going to, try to get somebody to at least be comparable, because you got people in the draft that's available, that can make a difference. But in the meantime, no, Juju Schuster, I like him. We'll talk to Van Scanlon when you talk about it, but I'm not going to jump ahead. But anyway.
Well, so look, I feel badly that they got rid of Byron Pringle. I think Pringle would have fit in really nicely right now because he was playing pretty well at the end of the year. But we'll talk Juju. Let's also talk Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who they signed 3 years, $30 million. What does he do, MVS? He goes deep. I mean, that's what he did for the Packers. Is Valdez-Scantling a taller version of the cheetah? Can he be 80% of Tyreek Swame? Can he be 70% Tyreek?
MVS. No, Doc, it's not a chance. Best year this guy's had 690 yards. Most touchdowns he had in any of his seasons has been 6. Yes, we understand he runs that 4.3. It may be 4.37, 4.38. It's something like that. We get it. He's fast. But you talk about running one route. At least you can get it to Tyreek Hill, wide receiver screen, jet sweep. You can get it in the ball and get it in his hands, and he can make something happen. Valdez-Scantling, you talk about a one-trick pony. He's running one route. That's straight. That's it. And I don't think that's going to be enough to get it done.
But Willie, they've got Kelce, who's got to be a first rounder, even if you don't like taking tight ends in the first round, he's a first rounder. You got Juju, who was poo-poo, but maybe that was because of Ben, because Ben had a rag arm. You've got Valdez-Scantling. You've got Hardman. Maybe the Chiefs are still okay on offense, Willie.
Well, I mean, sneakily said, actually, when you look at the stats, Mahomes was still good when he didn't play. They were still good. So let me say that. But Van Scanlon is another tub guy. Okay. He's another guy that's going to be in the tub. He always got those soft injuries in the legs that you don't like. So it's going to hurt him. Juju is the wild card. Now, if he could get back to the Pittsburgh early days, when he was, a guy like that, and maybe he can cover up for that. But I'm gonna tell you, both Tyreek Hill and the Kansas City Chiefs were best being together. They're not together anymore, and they're both are going to be weakened by this deal. Van Scanlon is not the answer. That one trick in the tub bastard will not do nothing for. Come on. Tyreek Hill. See, what made Tyreek Hill so incredible is the fact that they were scared of his deep ball, number one. and he broke so many short yards for long gains and was gone. See, that's something that you cannot replace.
Well,
So both, and now he's not going to get that. They got these conglomerate of people. They're not going to know how to use it the right way. And then you got a guy that throws the ball like me and Swame. Okay.
I want you to think of one thing, though. I think that Miami is the 2022 version of the Denver Broncos, only a quarterback away. Kyler Murray, I know he wants to be a Cardinal for life. You don't think that Miami now is a destination place? You don't think that Miami brings in Teddy Bridgewater because they're not convinced that Tua is the guy? You've got Mostert, you've got Edmonds, you got Gesicki, you've got Cedric Wilson, you've got Jalen Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill. You got guys to win now. We're going to find out ASAP whether Tua is the guy. I don't think he's the guy. I think he's an okay quarterback, but not with these weapons. Swami, agree, disagree that Miami could be the Denver of this year, where that next great quarterback is looking for that new address.
Yeah, I think if what you're saying, if I'm hearing you right, Doc, I think you're saying if Brady had an opportunity to do it over again, maybe right now he might be considering going to Miami. He's still staying in Florida, but I don't know if the Dolphins are going to be able. They're going to have to put something on film. They're going to have to put some wins together before I'm convinced. I think the defense is there, but once you let go of the coach and you bring it in, it's just too much change happening at one time. They need some continuity to be successful. And then now you're just adding a bunch of pieces to this mix. It's like no matter what recipe you're trying to come up with, Doc, you just can't keep just adding stuff into it before you had a chance to see what you got. And so right now they bring a lot of people in. Hopefully they got to understand what they want to do and what kind of offense they want to run. I just don't know how they're going to get everybody involved. You don't know if they're going to, be able to take advantage of all of these guys down there. I think that the Chiefs are probably in better position. I think Mahomes will get Juju and get Scanlon involved. If those guys are healthy with Hartman, they still can be explosive. They can still make some things happen over there. I just love what Hill was doing for that offense.
Willie, I think the Chiefs make a trade. I think they take 2 of their first-round picks and pop up early in the middle of that first round and go get a guy. Whichever receiver it is. Maybe it's Olave, maybe it's Wilson, maybe it's an impact guy. Can the Chiefs still get to the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill, Willie?
No. No, unless they get that impact player that we don't see right now. I don't see it. I think the West has improved greatly. And
they can get a couple of 1,000-yard receivers out of the guys they got.
No, I'm just saying. But if was a fifth, we'll all be good. Okay?
They're gonna need 2.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I just think the West has improved. People have improved, and we don't realize the impact that Tyreek Hill has. I'm telling you, he scared the daylights out of people. And remember, they struggle. Yeah. Oh yeah. The Ravens, they will be better. You gotta look what everybody. Man, people got better.
I think the Raiders got significantly better. I don't care what anybody said. I like
absolutely
significantly better, and the Denver got significantly better. Browns got significantly better, right? Significantly better. And I think Jarvis Landry may end up going back, and Beckham may be interested in going back to Cleveland. They didn't part on bad terms. They parted on, I'll come back, but now that Deshaun Watson's there, I really will come back. So, Tyreek, I will say this. I am a fan of McDaniel. I think he is a good coach. I think that San Francisco was the best play calling team I saw last year, by bar none. And I think that there is I don't like the offense they ran in San Francisco because they didn't throw it enough. But will they shape their offense in Miami? You have all these weapons. You can't be telling me that you're running the ball 30 times a game.
No. I mean, when you say that, you got to understand, and that's the one good thing because he did something with Garoppolo. Now, so if you can work with Garoppolo, maybe, and you got some weapons there, so the play action pass is going to mean something. But can that average depth of target, the 7.7% guy, make those passes up? And maybe if they are wide open, yes, he can make it happen. But right now, I don't see it. I'm really disappointed. I mean, and if you depending on Teddy Asswater, to be that guy is another tub guy.
But let me ask you this. Swami, let me ask you this. Do you think Tua was a victim of bad offensive coordinating? Maybe he can throw deeper down the field. Maybe he can take a chance. He was a pretty good quarterback at Alabama. All of a sudden he goes to Miami and he's throwing like 2-yard passes.
Yeah, I think he can be like in this what I'm imagining this offense to be. I imagine they want to get the ball out of his hands or get it into the hands of some of these playmakers. So if they got something like that going on, where, like you said, it's kind of like what we saw in San Francisco with Deebo Samuels, where they're just getting these playmakers the ball. They are not worried about, getting or looking like some traditional offense or, oh, you only do things this way. No, they got Hill and Waddle in the backfield at the same time. They got, doing all types of kind of gadget trick plays. They doing whatever they can to get these balls into the playmakers' hands and allow that defense a chance to tee off and get turnovers and stuff like that, which they've been doing over the last couple of years. Then I think, yes, you're in great shape. But if he's got to drop back and you need him to be in a situation where they're in 3rd and longs and they're behind in a game or just in a change and down the distance, I don't know if he's just going to stand back there right now and eat you up. After what we've seen, they've got to put something together and they got to have a game plan.
All right, guys. Last week we saw that the Browns signed Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. We don't know what's happening with Baker Mayfield, right? We just don't know where he's going to be. Now the Browns are offering to basically pay people to take Baker Mayfield. Where does Baker Mayfield go? Where does he go, Willie?
Listen, so, Winston signed with the Saints. Listen, his choices are slim and none. People, see, this is the thing. Nobody wants to accept that contract. They don't want it. I mean, they can't give him away. I mean, listen, I didn't see Baker. This is a year for Baker to heal that shoulder. He's still going to get paid. So listen, he just got to keep his mouth shut, and listen, in this league, he will land somewhere, and who knows? Because Mariota, he went with Atlanta, correct? The Falcons. Yes. That could be a destination, because who knows how long Mariota is going to stay in the field. I mean, listen, I'm just saying, it looks bad for Mr. Mayfield. That's all.
If you're Carolina, Willie, do you go trade for Baker Mayfield? If you're Seattle, do you trade for Baker Mayfield?
Yes, I don't know why
I would take a shot. He's worth a shot because they both got trash as their quarterbacks right now.
But we can agree that, if I'm not mistaken, Seattle, Carolina, Atlanta all have picks in the top 10. This Malik Willis looks real deal, Swami. I think all these teams want this guy. He threw 80 yards down a field, looked pretty darn good doing it. He could be the guy that all these people want, and if they can't get him, then Baker Mayfield is our next guy.
But I think what we're seeing is that if you're not bringing a quarterback into a good situation, well, that's a combination. Owners, head coach, offensive coordinator, having the right piece around them, offensive line, etc. It almost don't matter who it is. We got this great talent that's coming to the league over the last couple of years, and they look like boo. Jets, Jaguars, the list go on and on and on. He can go to the Giants. He can go to the Lions. He could go to the Panthers. He could go to the Seahawks. He can't go
to the Lions. The Lions got something going on there with golf. That's
not a place for him. But you talk about
that's not a place for him.
Sir, excuse me. You said the tub. You want to talk about a tub guy?
Well, I'm just saying, when the momentum that they had last year,
not to replace him, to compete, and they need depth somewhere. He's looking for a job. He's got to fight for it.
Yeah, but I just don't think the Lions. I think the direction they're heading, they're not going to take that trouble.
When you're 3-13, when you're 2-14, when you're all right,
but the difference is they could have been 8. Listen, they were in a lot of games. And
what you said, if is a what?
When golf was in there, he looked good. Mm-hmm. They were in a lot of games.
If was a fifth,
I understand.
We'd all be drunk.
I agree with Willie. I thought Detroit looked a whole lot better at the end of the season. Amon-Ra St. Brown was sensational. Goff looked more confident in that offense. They blew a lot of really close games. I think you give Goff one more year. If you stink, you get a quarterback next year. I don't know whether I bring in Baker Mayfield to go,
No.
6-11.
And they would have beat the Ravens.
What I'm saying is, I like what they did as well. I talked about Swift. I talked about St. Brown. Swift, he cost me when he dropped that one early in the season in the end zone over the left corner for a game that they would have won, the game-winning touchdown. So we get it. But 3-13, my point is it's still 3-13, and you still got a lot of room for improvement. I think obviously we know the NFL every year, teams are just losing games, late second field goals, missed field goals. It happens all the time. But the bottom line is the bottom line. You're 3-13. So if you got a quarterback that can't stay healthy, you might want to bring somebody in. I'm not saying he's going to go there.
His best destination will be Seattle.
But all the teams we named except Seattle think they have at least somebody. And I'm saying that's how
Carolina has nobody. Carolina stinks. Sam Darnold stinks.
They went and got Donald. They went and got Donald. Another guy that was taken early in the draft.
I will say this, though, Willie. I don't think Baker Mayfield goes to Atlanta. I think Mariota goes there. He knows Arthur Smith. He's the one-year guy. They draft a quarterback for sure. I don't know whether it's Matt Corral, Pickett, Malik Willis. I'm sure they want Willis. I think he'd be a great fit for that offense. And Mariota just gets you to next year.
I'm sorry, Doc, what offense? I don't even know what they bringing him in. He must be a tackling dummy. He's got to be brought in there. He's the decoy. Hey, go out there, Mariota, and just take one for the team. Try not to get sacked 40 times this year or 50 times this year. No wide receivers. You don't know what's going on in their backfield. Pitts was underwhelming. Why at this point bring in until you look and address some of those holes, until they get better at a lot of places? I don't know why you even waste any time with a quarterback right now. It's just going to be an expensive way. Get a tackle.
All right, Willie, forget Mariota. Let's talk about one of your favorite quarterbacks, Mr. Matt Ryan. Know how much you like this guy. Not being sarcastic at all. But Ryan is actually a pretty good fit for the Colts because he doesn't suck. He sucked in Atlanta because they didn't have Ridley. They didn't have an offensive line. They didn't have much. But with the Colts there, with Jonathan Taylor there, with a good offensive coordinator, is Matt Ryan somebody we could ever play again, whether it's in fantasy or DFS?
I think he is in a much better position than he would have been if he stayed in Atlanta. He got the best. Now, his arm is weaker, okay? But the thing that Matt Ryan is he's accurate. And now you put him behind a legit, could be the best running back in the NFL. And that play action pass is going to mean something. And he's going to have something he didn't have all year last year. He's going to have time and protection. And then now the people are going to see that, that's what Wentz had. And he couldn't make it. If you let Matt Ryan get the same looks that Wentz had, he's going to cash it in. So I think that's the best move they could have made until they get, the quarterback they want to get. But I like Matt Ryan going with the Colts. I like it. I think it's a good day. They still got to upgrade because T.Y. is not T.Y. anymore. So they still got to show up that wide receiver position. But I do like Matt Ryan. I think he was the best choice that they can have. So I like that Matt Ryan deal. I do. I like
Swame, agree or disagree with Willie?
Yeah, Doc, I'm surprised that I agree with him. I thought he was going to say something discouraging about Mr. Matty Ice because that's the kind of rascal he is. He's filled with controversy these days. Let me tell you something. Out of all these quarterbacks that we talking about, only one of them has thrown for almost 5,000 yards, 4,924 yards with 37 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Those type of numbers speak for themselves. It doesn't need us to say anything. Matt Ryan is the real deal. 2020, 4,581 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Last year, almost 4,000 yards, 3,968 yards. No wide receivers. One guy who was dealing with some off the field issues. A couple other guys couldn't stay in the lineup. Tight end wasn't underwhelming. He still had 20 touchdowns and 12 INTs. All that to say what? He outperformed most of the quarterbacks in the league. He has consistently produced. He's going to be a great addition to this team. It was the perfect thing. Late in his career, he's going where he has a chance to win and actually win a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford did it, I guess. What was that, year 12 for him? He's 34 years old. Matt Ryan's 36 years old, something like that. He might
37.
He's probably not 37 yet. I think
He
he's
is.
36.
He's 37.
Well, I'll check that later. But anyway,
he's 37.
Doc, the point is, he's still, again, playing.
He's got a year or two. Was he worth a third-round pick?
Yes, sir. He's got playing good football. There's no better quarterback that was out there, in my opinion, other than Matty Ice. They made a great call. He's the kind of guy that can take you over the top. He's the Matthew Stafford of this year. And Walls, just like Arnett used to say, you watch it, sucker. This is the guy, Matty Ice.
Hold up, man. First of all, slow it down, because Matt Ryan was not that good as you think, because he did that when he had peak Julio. You remember that? So all those little inflated stats. Listen, the last couple. Listen, Matt Ryan is the best thing they could have done, but no, he does not have the same impact that Stafford had. No, I'm not going to say that. No, they don't have that same type of impact as Stafford.
I bet you those receivers are going to be excited to have.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Those receivers have a lot to prove to me. They do.
Michael Pittman is good, but Carson Wentz is terrible. And Matt Ryan, and even at 37, can probably give you a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
He gets you through this year, maybe a half of the next year. You still got to groom somebody else, but you got a guy there. All right, I want to talk about a few guys real quick. Do we like Jameis Winston going back to the Saints, Swame? Yay or nay?
Yay.
Willie, yay or nay on
Agreed.
Winston? I mean, he's okay. The team is kind of though, right?
Yeah, I mean, but still, he's their best option, and I'm glad they're giving him an opportunity. That's all I got to ask. They're giving him an opportunity, so I'm happy with that.
Robert Woods, Swame, going to the Titans. I kind of love it.
Yeah, I think that's a good fit. I mean, yeah, I think I like that too, Doc. I like that a lot, because you still got, the guy who's probably going to be working the outside, right? He's going to be a monster out there. And then you got, Woods able to make a lot of things happen. Oh man, yeah, I like that a lot. Good
It's
fit.
a tree falling in the forest. Don't make a damn difference. He's coming off that. He's coming off that knee injury. It's going to take him a year. He's not going to be an impact this year. Maybe next year he'll be better, but not this year. No, he's not. He doesn't move. He's a tree falling in the forest. So
that's why he's Woods. All right, Odell Beckham Jr. Swame, does he sign with the Rams? The Rams said we want him.
Now, Doc, I was surprised to see them move Woods. I would be shocked if they move Beckham. It's no way. I couldn't see them not bringing him back after the way he performed, the chemistry he kind of already got. You got to bring him back. If they don't, that would be let me take that back. I've seen so many goofy moves over the last 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, who knows, Doc? He might be playing quarterback for the Panthers next week. Anyway, but I think so, Doc. They're gonna bring him back.
Willie, you like Beckham back with the Rams?
yes, great chemistry. He fit that team. They got the Woods is not there anymore. And then, come on, man. Their receiver core is, I mean, listen, Stafford will be a man of interest next year. Trust me when I tell you that. He's the guy I'm looking at next year.
Because he'll be still over the middle, short passing routes. They'll still work him in kind of where Woods was at. And I think Robinson is intended to be on the outside. So
Let me give you an under the radar signing here. Jamison Crowder signs with the Bills. I don't know if you guys saw that. 1 year, $4 million. Swami,
I like that.
You put Crowder there with McKenzie, with Gabriel Davis, with Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen's got a lot of targets.
I like
he's
that.
He's got a lot of targets. I'm not mad at Crowder. Crowder's a scrappy guy, works hard. He gets open. He catches the ball. He makes plays. So I'm not mad at that. I wouldn't necessarily. I think the offense is set, right? The things that I think they need to do is they got to stop somebody with 13 seconds on the clock. But
is DK Metcalf the next guy to be gone?
I think so.
I don't think so. They're not going to give him away.
If they ain't going to pay him, they're going to trade him.
No, well, yeah, but listen, first before they do anything, he's not going to be worth a damn until they get a quarterback.
But the price of Polka has gone up.
Yeah, I understand, but unless somebody is going to give him that, which I don't see right now,
You don't think the New York Jets would give it to them?
Man, please.
The New York Jets.
The Jets are in on Hill?
Yeah, no, okay. So
Okay. We're not talking about if they're good or not. We're talking about they're going to
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just
saying. You think DK Metcalf wants to wear green hair and go to New York?
Right, exactly. Are you kidding me? You better rethink that one.
I'm just saying, when you said I thought you was going to say somebody significant. You said the New York Jets.
I mean, you talk.
The Jets
that offensive line sucks.
But the Jets have a lot of picks, and the Jets have money to get one guy. If the Seattle Seahawks think that they can't sign DK Metcalf, you just watch as we get closer to the draft, right? If you think you can get one of the Jets' first-round picks, maybe you do it.
Well, listen. The way this offseason went, who knows what the hell's going to happen. Listen, I'm surprised every day. I told you
you're going to be playing quarterback in Jacksonville next week.
I don't know. Maybe Tampa Bay trade Brady to Miami. I don't know.
Take a look at Laviska Shenault, guys. I love Laviska Shenault. I think he's still out there. The Chiefs are supposedly looking at him.
But see, that's two of the same players, though.
They get the
Juju and Shenault. What you gonna do? Oh, let's do the 2-yard ends. Come on, that's too much. They're too much. They're the same players.
All right, last one for you before we go. I still love Jarvis Landry. Swame, why isn't this guy on the team already? This guy can play.
No, he's gonna get signed. I really think that the Browns may try to bring him back now. I don't know if they wanted to let him kind of test the market, but it was the wrong time to do that because the market exploded. So I don't know how they're gonna get it done. But maybe he wants to come back. Maybe he's looking for the best situation for him to win. I mean, the way things have been going, we can see him out in Kansas City.
Willie, you like Landry to go to Kansas City or the Browns?
Kansas City needs somebody who could take the top off. You got, like I said, you got Juju. Okay, you got Juju there. They need somebody.
That's why they got Scanlon, though.
They need somebody who could take the top off and stay on the field. Okay, but he can run the intermediate route. Listen, I told you, this Scanlon guy, man, he's a faker. Okay, he can't stay on the field. He's a faker, man. But Kansas, they better do something.
You don't want his 690 yards?
No, I don't.
6 touchdowns?
No, in his 7 or 8 games that he plays, no, thank you.
I think Valdez-Scantling has the best year of his career coming up. I do. I think that if anybody can find him deep, it's Mahomes, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers took more than 1 or 2 chances a game. I think the Chiefs will take 3 or 4 chances a game. Maybe he gets a couple of big plays. I don't know whether he gets more receptions, but I think the touchdown number goes from 6 to 8.
Listen, if he can't do it with the Chiefs, he can't do it anywhere. Let me tell you. Right. Let me tell you that. Oh, by the way, St. Peter's won.
Did they?
Yeah, they won.
But again, Doc, when it's a different situation when you're leaving a quarterback, you got a 50 touchdown quarterback, and the most you've ever done is 6 touchdowns. Even if you go to another 50 touchdown quarterback, I just don't. It's like if you couldn't do it with Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
whoa. Aaron Rodgers, when has he been a 50 touchdown quarterback?
He doesn't throw deep, Swami. Rodgers doesn't take those chances like Mahomes does.
But what I'm saying is Rodgers. But dude, we need stats. You don't think that Mr. Rodgers can put?
He's no Mahomes.
I told you, Mr. Walls, we do not disrespect Hall of Fame quarterbacks on this show.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay, here we go.
Do me a favor. You could bring all the stats. Do me a favor. What does that bastard do in the playoffs when he was favorite all the time?
Well, Doc, he's not interested. But
good job,
Doc. 4,643 yards, 45 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions.
No, that wasn't what we're saying. We're basically saying, do you think the Packers offense threw the ball downfield aggressively? I didn't think so.
Not last year, if you're talking about last year. But what I'm saying is the number of touchdowns, 48 touchdowns, 37 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns, 39, 45. The only way you can't get more touchdown passes than that. And if you can't get a bigger percentage than what he got with 40 plus touchdowns, what do you expect to do anywhere on the planet? You can't go to, Tyreek Hill is going to a situation with 10 touchdowns.
But the difference is Mahomes is the best deep ball thrower in the business. Period. Rodgers can't touch him deep. He can't.
You go. I'm not gonna let you.
No,
as
you
on
can
as
say
to
what you
say.
want to say.
That's not going out on a limb, Swami. That's a fair comment. Mahomes throws the best deep ball in the game.
Rodgers is accurate. He throws a good deep
He's
ball.
accurate over 20 yards, not over 50.
But you can.
No.
Well, yeah. If the argument is 20, 30 yards versus 50, I'm saying he throws deep. He has huge plays, and you win a big time offense, and you didn't do much. So going to another offense.
And I'm going to say this: Andy Reid is one of the best schemers in the game. Andy Reid will have some schemes. That's one thing you know about Andy. He will scheme it. So if like I said, if he cannot succeed with the Chiefs,
right, it's over.
He's washed.
You think he's going to be the focus, not hard?
No.
Right.
No,
so he's going to be
think
690 yards.
Listen to me, guys. He gets 4 targets a game, 2 in each half. They take 2 shots downfield each game, right? 2 big shots, and then maybe 2 20-yard shots. That's it. Now, if he goes 2 for 67, great. If he goes 2 for 82 and a touch, great. If he can get a touchdown every 4th game, well, maybe I'm a little light with the touchdowns. Maybe he's at 4 instead of 8. But I do think he gets about 4 targets a game.
Okay.
I can agree. Listen, we're not saying, listen, we know what he is. I can agree with that. So, I mean, we know what he is. But Mahomes make people better. That's all we're saying.
He does.
All right. Guys, let's wrap it up. Let's watch some NCAA. Let's talk more NFL next week like we always do. And what do we say, guys? Be well and
take care! Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.